Hey, collectives. Um, it's it's like I think 3 in the morning. And, I look horrible. But anyways, I wanted to share some information. First, I wanted to say that I found myself on the internet, and it says I'm 79 years old. And I remind you, my identification was stolen in 2020 from my apartment unit in North Highlands, and this is when I was doing Uber. Um, yeah, I was doing Uber, and I had my identification, social security card, bank card, and a lot of other miscellaneous stuff on my coffee table. So, long story short, I was looking for it, I misplaced it. Then 2021, I was on the dark web. It showed that I was born 19, I think 50 something, whatever it was. I had posted on another video and on my community tab. And anyway, so now I went to I guess an appointment, so to speak, an engagement on Friday. And then something just dawned on me to start looking at my name. Of course, you Google me, you see a lot of like lawsuit stuff, whatever, a lot of hindrances and stuff and advocacies. And then I came across, it was like about 3 pages, in the search bar, that my name, my first middle initial last name, said I was 79 years old. So I tapped on it, and then and it had like multiple birth dates. One said I'm gonna post it, but it said I think the 1978 or 70 something. The one 1940 something, 1950 something, whatever it was. And I imagine it's from the apartment complex because I was a victim of identity theft. And I remember through AT&T, they said a Weena Hansen was trying to get phones. They ordered phones under my name, well, under her name, but it used my physical address, right? And there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of fog going over there, but I'm sending this over to the Department of Justice or whatever, the federal government. So anyway, long story short, and it says, my relatives, right? One of them has my niece, which is my brother's daughter, is currently incarcerated. And when I was, gathering stuff out of my mom's home, stuff in the garage, and it shows my niece's name under some documents in my mom's home using my mom's address. And so I kind of imagine it's probably my identity theft done there, but I never checked into it because it's not my responsibility. And I don't even talk to her. I haven't really talked to her. I don't even know who she is. I know who she is, but I haven't sat down and talked with her, or spoke with her rather. And so anyways, so then the next page, it showed, relatives. Now, it didn't show my children's name like that. It showed my name, that I lived at my mom's address up until, I think, 2006, I think it said. But like I said, I'll post it. And from 1992 to 2006, something like that, with my brother and my mom. That I didn't see my other siblings. So I imagine my brother was probably doing identity theft on me. Because at one point, when I lived in Natomas, and he had said that he needed a place to stay, and I thought maybe my mom kicked him out, but I didn't know the dynamics of all that, whatever. But he stayed for about a couple of days, like 2-3 days. I was going to work and whatever, and I thought, okay, but not realizing he was up to something, because soon after he was in my place, then he left. Then all of a sudden my phone started echoing and crackling and all kind of bullshit. And then I was living somewhere else too, and he wanted me to meet his baby mama, or wife at the time. And then all of a sudden I started getting all these unlawful inspections while I was at work. Because I used to work, as well. I always felt somebody was coming to my place. I had gas coming in my unit. It was a lot of stuff. And I started thinking back as I'm listening to Terra Messengers and the pastor of my mom, that, granted, and I found out through a bank that I was a beneficiary. My brother was a beneficiary to an account that it was closed a long time ago. So now this is the time back in 1990, I want to say 7 or 6. All of a sudden, my social security card was missing, and my ID as well, and that, or another, but I think there's none of it. So then I'm thinking back with all the chain of events, the identity theft in 2012 with the feds, and then, but I'm listening to Terra Messengers, and then my inheritance that people are being quiet about, And I know my grandfather left me something. I know he did, because he told me some things. And he was teaching me about stocks and bonds, the newspaper, and, on the cable, when they had a thing on the screen, he always asked me questions. What does that mean? What does that mean? And, the Dows and Jones and stuff like that, the S&Ps and stuff like that. And I know a lot. He taught me a lot. And so, and when he passed on, I'm rambling, but when he passed on, it was a shock to me, because I had a invitation for him to come to my high school graduation, and he's the one who bought me my dress and everything, and then looking at my grandfather's grave site, his gravestone says 1992. He passed away in May of 92, but he actually passed away in May of 1991, and they found him unresponsive in the parking lot of McDonald's here in Sacramento, but yet the death certificate said he passed away in the hospital. So that was very suspicious to me, because it didn't say where they found him or he was pronounced dead. He was pronounced dead on site. And then at his funeral, I was the only one crying, because I was like, this couldn't be, because of course he was elderly, and they used his health history as an excuse, but I believe it was foul play, because I'm like, nobody noticed the gravestone site. It said 1992, no one corrected it, and nobody cried, nobody shed a tear at the funeral. I mean, maybe they grieved in their own way, but it was weird, it was odd, and everyone was just looking at me when I was crying. They're just looking at me like, it was weird, just thinking back. Then fast forward, my mom's death, and then, chain of events, and fight over my mom's house, and then my brother, who was incarcerated, went to make an boarding care home without giving nobody's, like not authority, but like permission, or to see what they're gonna do, whatever. It's like he wanted to take control. And I know my mom, because my mom, she was upset, and she told my brother that's currently incarcerated, like, you can't pay me my $50,000 back, and you're supposed to be Mr. Big Shot. You know what I mean? That probably rubbed him the wrong way too, because my mom wanted her money back. Because after he got rearrested, after being on probation, he was doing good for a minute. He violated his probation. My mom was pissed. She was pissed. She was mad. She said, I wish all my money for all this. And I remind you, I'm self-sufficient. My mom would help me every now and then. She'll volunteer and say, hey, I got something for you, whatever. I never asked her, for help, I learned my lesson. But all in all, I'm started thinking, I said, well, damn. Because I was trying to get some other insurance on my vehicle. And then all of a sudden, they said, I'm not, that DMV, it says the Department of Motor Vehicles says I never had a driver's license under my name and my current date of birth and all that. I said, what? And I said, I just had full cover insurance, because it went up. I'm like, yeah, I got into an accident, but it wasn't my fault, or somebody else hit me. And I said, check it again. They said, okay, spell your name, middle initial, or whatever, last name, date of birth, social, all that, right? In the years I've been driving, I said, I've been driving since I was 16, licensed, with the permit and all that. And they said, nope, it says you're not in the system. And then, it dawned on me. I said, let me just check my name online. And that's when I found, it said I'm 79 years old. Damn, I look good for 79 then. And then it has multiple date of births. And then it said the relatives is my brother, who's currently incarcerated, and then my mom. And then one of them said that I lived in my mom's house until, I think, 2006 or something like that. So that means that I was probably getting mail to my mom's house and not realizing it. And that kind of explains why the system, like the welfare agency, they kept saying I was hiding money, and they're spreading these rumors, because they know I had money that they didn't want me to have. And I remember I was working, and all of a sudden I was getting harassed, and I was changing job. I mean, part of it was the courts too, but then it was like, I probably had money, but they're probably wondering, like, why is she working and she has money? You know what I mean? I'm just thinking back. I'm just speculating all this stuff, because I remember, with housing, they were like, who's living in the home, and are you married? I'm like, okay, you fill the forms out, whatever. But the way one of the workers was like asking these questions, it was like doubt. Like they know something, but they can't really probably tell me, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm thinking. I said, huh. When I was in North Highlands, for no reason, I kept getting harassed and like they didn't want me to be on the internet. And one medical professional told me, you know, stay off the internet, blah, blah, blah. But then it gave me a reason why. And then this is some other things too I don't want to say, but all of a sudden people watching me and this and that, and told to stop doing what I'm doing, and just, you know, leave it alone, like my case and stuff like that. I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not getting any help. No one's helping me. No one's taking the initiative, because, you know, it's so tight niche in my county or my town or California, period. Because, you know, my name is very unusual, and they know what they did was wrong in my case, but they won't give me the remedy. But, you know, the remedy is going to be the dark night of the soul for them. You know, I've healed, I'm moving on, but now I'm doing some other things, and I want my remedy, you know. And I knew what they did was wrong. And, but overall, I already know I'm not gonna get any help. That's probably why they try to hinder me with my money, and none in the system. They know everything. The courts do everything. And I think that's probably why my family has so many ties with the attorneys, the court, the real estate investors, employees, agents. They were coming in my apartment. At the first, I didn't really realize it. My family knew all about it, but didn't say shit, because they knew about possibly the monies I was supposed to have or had in the past and currently have. They're trying to, you know, discard me, so to speak, because once I find out, and if it's been multiple years, it's a wrap for them. Already there was some embezzlement already, and I'm already sending the documents over to the bank, because somebody took my mom's money, you know, she passed, and so that's another issue. But I'm gonna upload the screenshots on my community board or tab, whatever it's called, and so you can see it, because I was shocked. I said 79, and then it had all these multiple date of births. I mean, I already reported it once in 2021, I believe, to the FTC, but I'm reported again. Now I see why they're saying all these allegations, like my age, or I was living with somebody else, or this and that, because they're trying to hide me, so I won't be notified of these scams. And like I said, and I believe it's my brother, that he had he had used my information and because it said that I was using my mom's address until 2006, you see? And then another thing I wanted to mention is that, I lost my train of thought, but it'll come back to me later. But I'm shocked. And this part of the 79-year-old, whatever it is, the age, whatever, this must have happened in 2020, because one of my neighbors, the one who assaulted me, her name is Angela Jackson, and I had filed a restraining order against her. And then she said, I have it recorded. She said, I'm gonna ruin your whole life. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, like, she's dumb, like, you know, low IQ. She went to a social security school, whatever it's called, for disabled people, whatever it was, from childhood up to teenage. I have everything. And she wasn't even supposed to be there, because she had a payee, and the payee which her sister was even there, living somewhere else, and she was paid by the property manager, you know. So anyways, when she said that, I was like, yeah, right. Turns out they were coming to my apartment because I smelled her stench in my apartment, but I couldn't prove it because there was no forced entry at one point. And then when she said that, my ID came missing, and I got an alert from the credit bureau that my particulars were on the dark web. And that's when I knew. And with the property management, they changed my credit. They had put in there I was getting Rent Plus, whatever it's called, to boost my credit score. Then I found my name way up in New York. You know what I'm saying? So it's going down. But I'm gonna post the screenshot on the community tab. You can see it. And then also you can search it online too. I mean, these people are something else. That explains why the county, a particular agency, possibly sent me something, because they have my old P.O. box. I haven't used it 14 years. That explained because they knew I had some money coming through and the shutters were closing. You know what I'm saying? And possibly a letter probably came to my mom's house and said something, and they probably got spooked. And I believe that's why the poison part of it with the apartment complex, the maintenance, the management, because we're all involved. And I believe that's why they try to poison our food, our air, our environment, harassment, all that. It's going down. It's going down. They're going to be arrested, all of them. And more charges going to be brought.